group of climate change organizations have
emissions of greenhouse gases.
Climate change is now happening.
Indonesia says it's
10 million tons of.
The Philippines tops a list of countries most susceptible to hazards caused by climate change.
Ito ang dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng mga bagyong gaya ng Super Typhoon Yolanda at Bagyong Ondoy.
This is all wrong. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Passing by too fast to wreck.
The palm oil industry has been crucial to the economy growth in Malaysia. Malaysia is the second largest palm oil producer in the world, contributing 27% to the global palm oil production after Indonesia.
Palm kernel shells, also known as PKS, is the byproduct of the crude palm oil industry. The CPO process starts with the collection of fresh fruit bunches from the palm plantations. These bunches are then transported to CPO mills to be processed, where they are sterilized, threshed, and crushed for the extraction of CPO. PKS are the shell fractions left after the kernel has been removed. The greater the CPO production, the greater the amount of PKS. In the past, palm kernel shells were dumped in open fields or rivers. If PKS piles up at a CPO mill, this creates a dangerous breeding ground for insects that will cause massive damage to the palm plantations. PKS can also self-combust if it is left untouched for a lengthy period.
Plastic. It's everywhere, from our food packaging and shampoo bottles to our reading glasses and pens. Today, tiny bits of plastic even make their way into our water, food, the air we breathe, and yes, our bodies. In the last 2 decades, we've produced twice as much plastic as we previously did in almost a century. We throw away almost 50% of plastic after just a few uses, even though it can last a lifetime. And that's just the problem. What happens to the plastic after we're done with it? Today, only 9% of plastic gets recycled. That's because making new plastic from fossil fuels is still cheaper than recycling existing plastic. You'll find plastic in every corner of the world, and not just in people's homes or bin bags. If we keep this trend up, plastic pollution could triple by 2040. About 4/5 of it is found in our oceans, making its way there via rivers, harming wildlife, polluting our waters, and spreading toxins. That's not all. Plastic never really goes away. Plastic bottles take up to 450 years to decompose in landfill, and even they're not gone. They simply break up into smaller bits called microplastics, which end up in our world with consequences we're only starting to understand.
Torrefaction, a thermal pretreatment process, is gaining attention as it improves the physical properties and chemical composition of biomass for recycling. Torrefaction POA treatment is a promising technique to achieve the goal by increasing the carbon and oxygen content together with alkali and alkaline earth metal content.
Gasification doesn't actually burn the municipal solid waste. Instead, it breaks the molecules apart with heat and a very small amount of air or oxygen, and then recombines them to form syngas, a clean fuel similar to natural gas. It's these chemical reactions that make gasification so different from incineration. The syngas can be used to make fuels, chemicals, fertilizers, and consumer products, and to generate electricity.